What's good all day, fam? We back again for another segment, and I got some stuff on the million for y'all tonight, like I always do. All right, first off, let me hold on. First, give me 1 second. Hold on. All right, bet. Okay. All right. So what we got? What we got first? Let's see here. So Odell Beckham Jr. Odell Beckham Jr. reinstated after NFL suspension. Oh wait, hold on. No. I don't want to talk. I don't read. I don't want to read this. No, well, he was. No, this is his own news. Hold on. I was trying to find something else. I saw that Odell Beckham Jr. He was talking about. Let me see if I can find it. That's old news. Hold on. All right, I'm just gonna read it because I was gonna share this. See if I can find me an article, but I don't know if I can find it. But I read something off the internet. It said veteran free agent wide receiver Odell Beckham Jr. is once again expressing interest in returning to the Giants. Beckham Jr. 33 commented on a Giants-related Instagram post discussing Matt Nagy's hiring, if I pronounce his last name right, and said, "Y'all put the potential up to get me back to the Giants." In a podcast earlier this season, Beckham Jr. spoke about wanting to play for the Giants before his career is over. Before I go get out there, before I get out of here, it's my creed to the fans. I want to give that back to the Giants, OBJ said on the Pivot podcast. Okay. Giants rookie quarterback Jackson Dart spoke to OBJ about what it's like to play for John Harbaugh, and OBJ said he loved it during his time with the Ravens. OBJ was with the Ravens, huh? Yeah. Odell Beckham Jr. did not play at all this season after serving a 6-game suspension for violating the NFL's PED policy. I wonder if I could find that. If I could find that thing on the pivot when he was on the pivot, because I never watched that interview when he was on the pivot, but I'm curious to see what he said in depth on the pivot. Let's see if I can find it. It's a long interview, so I may not be able to find where he said talked about it, but let's see. Yeah, I ain't gonna be able to find that. This is a long interview. Let me see. Hold on.
To win a kid that allowed them to.
Maybe watch it again.
Just I don't know, something was happening.
Mm-hmm.
The Chiefs, and you definitely got to see me back in that blue thing. Like before I get out of here, like it's my creed to those fans. Like I want to give that like to the Giants.
I have a question. Jalen Ramsey sat with us after you guys.
That game instead of
You were drinking.
listen, there are alpha males, there's apex predators. I feel like I told him, I said, you put me in a room with 200 of God's greatest men creations, the tallest, the richest, the whatever that God got to offer, and I feel like I'm gonna stand for me. Like I'm gonna walk in there with this, and I feel good with that. So my ego, now I'm Cordell's brother. So
Yeah,
my ego can never be touched because I am who I am. Like I know who I am.
Right.
You know what I mean? It can never be. You need me? Oh, you need me to get up? Be like, hold on, I'll be right back. As long as there wasn't no grown ass man trying to talk to me about no. Come on, bro. good luck. You get them. Like, you know what I'm saying? But my ego can never be touched because I'm truly like, I'm just too good with me. And now I love it. Like, that's the biggest one when they try and be like, oh, that's Cordell's brother. And I'm like, yeah, I am. Like, I'm proud of my little bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, why would I be like, nah, I'm OBJ. That shit dumb. You know what I'm saying? Like, it would never be that for me. I've never been that kind of person anyways. So I think it's just, I just know who I am. You know what I mean?
Oh.
I'm good with me.
So I want to have a more serious conversation. First thing we talked about was the fact that you aren't retiring. We talked about the place you had to drag yourself from and you setting yourself up for generations. You also said the way that you were going to have to walk away after last year is not a way that you can live with yourself. So I read the tea leaves. That means you still want to play.
Yeah.
Where would you like to play if given the opportunity? Because there's the team, just throw it out there. There's a team in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, exactly. I already know. That's one of them.
Okay.
But there are two.
Okay.
I got to go back with McVay.
Mm.
Take me home. Call the family, tell them there's a number 7 jersey that we need to unretire for a year, a couple games.
Mm.
I need that back. Like, Coach McVay, like my favorite coach that I've had all my life was like my high school coach. And it's because taught me how to like be a man. Like he was firm on me, but he also prepped me for football. Like there's nothing like being prepared to play a game instead of like going into it kind of, you know, wishing for, hoping for whatever. And McVay was that person. Like I knew, like I called TA Gold Feet. I said, hey bro, you gotta come out here. Like I said, I'm about to go crazy. Boom, he flies to LA. We training at the field or whatever. I said, I'm going for like 15, 260, 3 touchdowns. I said, I need to run this route, and I need you to get me on a release. Like I had the whole game plan. Like I knew what was gonna go on. If y'all was gonna play man-to-man on Kobe, if you're gonna double up on him and put the safety over and you're gonna put Mike Hilton or somebody else man-to-man, I'm gonna eat you up today. I'm gonna kill you today because I'm on that. You know? And it was like McVay had me ready and prepared. So as far as teams, I feel like I joke with, I went to the Giants KC game and I joked with Kansas City. I was like, bro, I literally only asked y'all for $3 million. And just respect because I know what I'm going to bring outside of my value just to football. I know what I'm going to bring to your younger receivers in the locker room. I know what I'm going to bring as a man to the team. I know my energy. So I joke with them. I'm like, you could have had another ring. I don't know if I'd have been there, you know, playing against Saquon Barkley, that's, you know, like it really would have won. But it's kind of like I look at it, and I don't know if this is even a pitch. Like, I'm just like, I look at the LA Rams, I look at the Steelers, you know. I know, it was Calvin Austin, right? He kind of just, I don't know if something was happening.
Mm-hmm.
The Chiefs. And you definitely got to see me back in that blue thing. Like, before I get out of here, like, it's my creed to those fans. Like, I want to give that, like, to the Giants.
I have a question. Jalen Ramsey sat with us after you guys won the Super Bowl.
I want to hear this
and
question.
He said you would have been Super Bowl MVP.
Mm.
And that same year, which is Coop's triple crown year, we asked him who the top 5 receivers in the league were. He said you. I was there. I fully believe you were going to be the Super Bowl MVP. You get hurt, and you're crying at the end of the game, and it's felt like joy.
Mm-hmm.
But what were the true feelings? Because I'm a football player, right? And we're all individually selfish, even though we're team-oriented.
Yeah.
We want to be the best we could possibly be.
Yeah.
You get the tub, you catch the crosser, you run off on them, right? It's seeming like it's going exactly the way you thought it was.
And then
what are those feelings though?
So I'll never forget, like, it's a funny story. Left Cleveland in the middle of the year, go to the Rams. I joined a team that was already a really good.
So that's it. Well, but I was curious to see what he was going to say about that. I mean, OBJ was a great player when he in his prime, but he's way past his prime. I will be very surprised if a team signs him. I mean, he's not like one of those receivers. I don't think he's. I never really seen OBJ, especially when he was in his prime. a receiver with his talent and what he was able to do on the field. I mean, he was definitely an extremely highly player. It's unfortunate that he wasn't great long enough. I'm not sure if he will ever be a Hall of Famer. Well, I don't think he will ever be a first ballot Hall of Famer, but I'm not sure if he will ever be a Hall of Famer. I don't know if he did when he was doing what he did long enough. Maybe. I mean, if OBJ becomes a Hall of Famer, Chad definitely should be one, but we all know why Chad probably isn't going to be a Hall of Famer. But the point I'm making is that in his prime, he definitely was a phenomenal wide receiver, and he definitely had a pretty good stretch. That, I mean, he put up some historical numbers for a stretch. It'll be curious to see if he ever will be a Hall of Famer. I don't know, but it's also going to be very interesting to see if a team will ever take a chance on him. Well, I don't want to say take a chance, but what I mean is sign him, because I don't really know what much OBJ can bring to your team anymore. He's way past his prime. The last few teams that he was on, he didn't really do anything. But I mean, hey, I mean, if he wants it, and if a team thinks it's a good fit, if a team's like okay, then more power to him. I mean, it's obviously he wants to retire with the Giants, and he came back out and he mentioned that recently. And this interview when he was on the Pivot, this was like months ago. I think this was, how long ago was this? Because I remember seeing this interview back in like October. So this is a pretty old interview. Came out in October. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. I don't think a team is going to do it, but we'll see what happens. Maybe, I mean, I can see the Giants doing it, to be honest with you. I can't see the Giants doing it because John Harbaugh has chemistry. He has history with OBJ. OBJ obviously has history with the Giants. I don't think there's any bad blood between them two. So I think the Giants probably would give him another year, maybe sign him to a year so he can retire as a Giant. I can see that happening. So, and then, him and Malik Neighbors and Jackson Dart. I can see that happening. I can see that happening in New York. So let's see if the New York will go ahead and entertain that. All right. So moving on. Now we got a former teammate of Kyler Murray at the Arizona Cardinals has reportedly spoken to the New York Jets, warning them against signing Murray this offseason. I was talking to one of his former teammates, and he has basically warned off the Jets about him. He goes, no. The Jets don't want to do that. You don't want Kyler Murray as your quarterback. Wow. Okay. I mean, this is the thing. Kyler Murray, he doesn't seem like he's the type of person that you would want on your team. I would not sign him. I mean, first off, I don't think Kyler Murray is all that good. First off, Kyler Murray isn't a good quarterback. Two, he does have some questionable character issues. And as a quarterback, I just don't think, why would a franchise want him being the face of their franchise, and Kyler Murray isn't all that good. Now, if Kyler Murray was great, if he was a really great quarterback, maybe top 5, top 10 even, then okay, I'll take a chance on that. But he's not all that. He's not good. I don't want to say he's not all that good. He's not good. He's not. I mean, he has done absolutely nothing in the league for me to think that he's a good quarterback ever. So he's not good, and he has character issues or questionable character issues. Some of the stuff that he, like when he was running off the field and he was telling his head coach to calm the F down, and then I think it was something about him not reading, not studying plays and stuff like that. There's stuff like Kyler Murray just doesn't seem the type of quarterback that you will want, that you believe can lead your franchise to a winning franchise and to a Super Bowl. I mean, let alone a Super Bowl championship. So, and also given the fact that is Marvin Harrison Jr.'s lack of production, is that because of Kyler Murray? We did see a snippet of that, or something that can entertain that question, is when Kyler Murray was out earlier this year, and then they put their backup quarterback in, and Marvin Harrison Jr. had a really great game. So, and I've never seen Marvin Harrison Jr. have a good game with Kyler Murray. So there's question marks about Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray has all the talent in the world, highly talented player, highly talented athlete, but he's not a good play. He's not a good player. He's not a good quarterback. So he's still young. He can still blossom, but I wouldn't put my money on it. I wouldn't bet the rent money on that. So it will be interesting to see what team will take a chance on Kyler Murray. Now, a team will take a chance on him. There are teams out there that will sign him just to sign him. Even though a former teammate of Kyler Murray saying was stirring the Jets away from signing him, I can still see the Jets taking a chance on that. Now, I will say this: I would rather have Kyler Murray playing for my team than Justin Fields. I think you can have a better chance of getting some type of productivity out of your quarterbacking with Kyler Murray than Justin Fields. Because Justin Fields, like I said, Kyler Murray is not all that good of a quarterback. Justin Fields is just terrible. Like Justin Fields, I don't want to be disrespectful and say he sucks, but Justin Fields is. I'm done seeing Justin Fields as a starting quarterback. I'm done with that. There's no way that Justin Fields is going to be a better quarterback. I just don't see it. Now that's my pushback with the Kyler Murray thing is that right now Kyler Murray doesn't. I don't think Kyler Murray will ever be a good quarterback either. But that doesn't mean that he will. I think it's set in stone that Justin Fields is not going to be a good quarterback. Kyler Murray still has time. He's still kind of younger in the league. He still is fresh in the league, and we haven't seen Kyler Murray in a different team. We've seen Justin Fields with different teams. We've seen him in different systems. We've seen him with the talent. We've seen him. We've seen him with Justin Fields with the situations. He's not it. There were always stuff about, oh, maybe he needs this, maybe he needs that, and he got that, and it didn't happen. And he went to the Jets. It was like he needs to start. He needs a fresh. Justin Fields has had all he had all the chances in the world, and he just never capitalized on them. So that tells you that he's not good. It's not going to work out for him. And the game seems too fast for him. When he's out there, he seems confused. He just seems like Justin Fields seems so incompetent. Kyler Murray's problem is that I feel like Kyler Murray's problem is his character. I think if Kyler Murray maybe can get in a better situation, see, that's the difference between Kyler Murray and Justin Fields. I feel like if he can get into a better situation with a better coach that can really not only just coach him, but really override his nonsense and let him know that, like a hard-nosed, edgy type of coach. And so I'm saying maybe the Jets wouldn't be the best fit for Kyler Murray because I talked about this last night. I don't like Aaron Glenn as a head coach. Aaron Glenn is not going to be the right type of coach for Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray needs to go somewhere where a coach is going to get in his ass and coach is not going to deal with his nonsense. And I think that's going to make Kyler Murray better than what he already is. And so I'm trying to think what type of team would really help him to evolve to the type of player that he could become that can match his talents. So, I mean, a team like the Dolphins can take a chance on him, but I don't think that would be I just don't think that would be a good environment for Kyler Murray going to Miami. I don't really know I don't know how the Dolphins head coach is going to be as a coach. I know he's a really good coach. I know a lot of players respect him, but this is his first time being a head coach. So I think somebody like Kyler Murray, he needs like a well-respected coach. Something like it would have been interesting to see if Mike Tomlin was still coaching him to see Kyler Murray in Pittsburgh. That would have been interesting. I think Kyler Murray needs an environment like that. I highly doubt Kyler Murray will want to take a backup role because it could be interesting to see him in New England or somewhere. Well, we got Trey Lance, so I was going to say the Chargers, but not I think Kyler Murray. I feel like Kyler Murray needs to learn how to be a professional, and I feel like when he learns that he's going to start making better decisions, and he can evolve to a really great quarterback because he has all the talent, he has all the skill. You know, he doesn't have the physicality, the physical nature. He's not tall, he's not big. He is kind of thick, but his athleticism, his talent makes up for a lot of things. So makes up for his size, his height, I should say. Like I would like to see him under a coach like Sean McVay. I think the Rams can be wonderful for Kyler Murray. To be honest with you, think about it. I think the Rams is the perfect fit for Kyler Murray, the Rams, because we don't know how long Matthew Stafford is going to be with the Rams, and that's the perfect situation for him. You got as Blake Collar's in the game, and then you got Matthew Stafford, who's on his way out. Sean McVay is already a Super Bowl winning coach. You already know what you're going to get out of Sean McVay. You got Puka. You got Devontae, depending on how long Devontae wants to keep playing. And then you got two really great running backs right behind you. That's a perfect situation for Kyler Murray. Perfect situation. So I would like to see, that's what I'm saying. That would be a great situation for him to go to the Rams, learn under Matthew Stafford, learn with Sean McVay, learn how to be a professional, how to be a quarterback. That would be perfect for Kyler Murray. And that type of offense, man, he will blossom hard in that offense. And that offense, how Sean McVay calls the offense, it will serve his ability. I believe it will. Even maybe the Vikings. I think the Rams would be a better situation for Kyler Murray because you got Matthew Stafford, the learner to Matthew Stafford, but you do got that great coach for the Vikings. So I love that coach for the Vikings. You got him, and then so the Vikings can be a good situation for him. Who else? What other team would be a great situation for Kyler Murray? I think Detroit, no. Cleveland, no. Baltimore, no. Buffalo, no. Texans, no. I'm just going down the list of teams that I think might be a good. Cowboys, no. Jacksonville, no. Miami, no. Even though Miami might take a swing on them because Miami has no quarterback and they're rebuilding. They might take a swing on Kyler, but I don't want to see him there. I just don't think it will. He will. I don't think he will do good there. Is what I'm saying. I think he will just be the same person because nobody is going to hold him accountable. I don't in that situation. I don't think. You got San Fran, no. Now maybe the Raiders, depending on what they got a coach already, don't they? I think the Raiders already got a coach. Head coach. Does the Raiders have a coach? I mean, maybe the Raiders because you got Tom Brady there. Maybe Tom Brady can serve as a mentor for Kyler, but it's not. But it's a better situation than Clint Kubiak. That's right, Clint Kubiak. They're expected to hire Clint Kubiak as their new head coach after the Super Bowl. Oh yeah, that's right. We read about that. Maybe the Raiders, maybe I guess, but I think it'll be the perfect situation for Kyler Murray will be the Rams, and then I'll say the Vikings. I think that'll be a perfect situation. I don't know if he will be willing to sit under Matthew Stafford, but he's still young. And that's an investment. I would say that's an investment for his career, in my opinion. So there's the scenario, there's the idea behind that. I think that would be wonderful for Kyler. If not the Rams, Vikings, maybe the Raiders. You got Tom Brady there, minority owner, but I don't know how much hands-on Tom Brady will be of that situation. But it will be great. I mean, what a great quarterback could Kyler Murray learn under other Matthew Stafford, Tom Brady. So if he's open to learn, but I think you're going to really need a great head coach. Clint Kubiak, He's a good coach. I don't know if he's a great head coach, but we'll see. But there's some scenarios out there. We'll see. We'll see. We'll keep an eye out for that for all you Kyler Murray fans out there. We'll stay on top of that story to see what the Cardinals is going to do with him. All right, so moving on. So we got Chargers. Chargers to interview Texans Ben Bowling for a key coaching staff role. The Chargers will be interviewing a former Houston Texans assistant for their open coaching position. The Los Angeles Chargers coaching staff has been seeing significant turnover this season. The franchise has replaced both of their coordinators and several position coaches left as well. Former offensive coordinator Jake Roman and offensive line coach Mike Devlin were relieved of duty just days after the Chargers put forth an embarrassing performance against the Patriots in the wild card round of the playoffs. Former Miami Dolphins head coach Mike McDaniel has been hired to install a new offense and help take the weight of the world off of Justin Herbert's shoulders. McDaniel brought with him Butch Berry, his offensive line coach from the Miami, to assume the same role in Los Angeles. Former defensive coordinator Jesse Minter accepted the head coach with the Baltimore Ravens, and the Chargers hired Chris O'Leary, one of Minter's long-tenured proteges, to step in and replace him. The defensive staff otherwise appears to be remaining intact. The Chargers lost an important voice on the defensive side of the ball this offseason. Linebackers coach Navarro Bowman informed the team that he was stepping away from coaching to spend more time with his son and help him navigate his high school athletics and preparation for college basketball. Yeah, I'm gonna miss Navarro. I wish he would have stayed with us. The Chargers have not filled Bowman's departed role coaching the linebackers yet. When asked about during his introductory press conference, Chris O'Leary said they have several candidates in mind to fill the position. Who is Ben Bowling? In an evening announcement, Texas and NFL reporter Aaron Wilson broke the news that Houston's former assistant linebackers coach Ben Bowling will be, or I'm hoping to pronounce his name, or Balling, maybe it's Balling or Bowling, will be interviewing for the Chargers linebacker coach position on Thursday. Ben Bowling, and Texas assistant coach, linebackers coach for the NFL top-ranked defense last season, interviewed today for Jets linebacker coach vacancy per league source, and Thursday for same position with the Chargers. Texans linebacker Zeke Al-Shahir named to first Pro Bowl last season. Amen. I would like for him to be our linebackers coach. He might do a better job than Navarro, and Navarro did an excellent job with our linebackers. I would like to see that. It appears to have been a slight shock for the Houston Texans media when it was announced that the team was moving on from Bowling. Bowling had been with the Texans since 2021 and started as a defensive assistant before being promoted to assistant linebackers coach this past season. Bowling has an interesting coaching path. He was on staff for Campbell University since 2016. He has gone back and forth from offense to defense. Bowling as a player is described as historically one of Campbell's top pass catchers. He entered the coaching ranks on the defensive side of the ball for 2016 to 2018 before becoming the wide receivers coach from 2019 to 2020. So he's been going back and forth from offense, defense. I mean, he looks like he has a knowledge. I would like to. Okay, I mean, I think he's. I mean, look what he did with the Texans linebackers too. Brutal defense, brutal, physical, fast, flying, nose to the ball, all gas, no brakes type of linebackers. So he had something to say about that. He had something to do with that. So I would love for him to be our linebackers coach. I would love it. You got freaking Dayon. You got freaking Denzel, and hopefully he can get the guy. Hopefully nobody's talking about him because he has been very underwhelming lately. But I forget the guy. I forgot his freaking name. He was injured all year. He didn't even play this year. He got injured, I think, early in the preseason. I forget the guy's name. But all Chargers fan base were really big on this linebacker coming out of Michigan. I can't even remember his freaking name, but I'm gonna pull up Chargers linebackers. Let's see. I'm just naming these linebackers that can do well under him. I mean, I think this is Junior Colson is the guy's name. Junior Colson, selected in the third round of the 2024 draft. Colson had a challenging rookie season due to injuries, but as anticipated to take a significant step. He was anticipated taking a significant step in 2025, and he got hurt. Troy Dye. So those are our linebackers right now. pretty much around Dayon. Only good linebackers was Dayon and Denzel. Junior Colson, very underwhelming. Troy Dye is average. And so I know Georgia's fan base is really big on Troy Dye, but I think they're overrating him a little bit. I don't think he's as great as they think he is, but he's I think he's just average. The ones that really stood out to me, Dayon, obviously, and Denzel. I love Denzel's physicality. So, but hopefully, I think all these guys can actually evolve even more with this linebackers coach. So, yeah, he has experience. He was a former player also, and he has a resume. The Texans defense was violent, and you can't tell me he didn't have anything to do with that. He didn't have something to do with that. So Bowling had to work primarily with his safeties when he was on the defensive side of the ball before his tenure at Houston began. He worked for 4 years as a defensive assistant and heavily focused on linebackers in 2024. He was promoted assistant linebackers coach in 2025. So he's been getting promoted. I mean, and like I said, everybody was surprised when he left the Texans. This is an interesting interview given Bowling's lack of experience with the linebackers. In 2024, Bowling is credited with working closely with Henry, To'otu, and Aziz Al-Shahir to put together one of the better groups in the NFL. That's what I'm talking about. So I love it. I want to see it. Go ahead and pick him up. I want to see that. So yeah, make that happen, LA. Make that happen. All right, so let's keep it pushing. All right. So next, we got Jamar Chase when asked about the Joe Burrow trade rumors and the possibility of reuniting with his former LSU teammate Justin Jefferson. Chase said, according to Football Forever, I didn't hear him say this. I watched most of their interview, so I don't know where they got this from. So, okay, well they got the oh, this was on another interview. Okay. So Jamar Chase, when asked about the Joe Burrow trade rumors and the possibility of reuniting with his former LSU teammate Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase said, "I mean, we could get Justin Jefferson to take, a $45 million pay cut. We could get him. Burrow has been linked to a trade to the Vikings, and Chase might be willing to accept that if Jefferson comes back to Cincy on a significant pay cut." I don't know, man. I think that would be kind of dumb if the Bengals did that. Because why would you trade Joe Burrow for a wide receiver? Even though Justin Jefferson is one of my favorite wide receivers of all time. Right behind T.O. When you talk about my favorite wide receivers of all time, you talk about T.O., Justin Jefferson, Deshaun Jackson, Andre Johnson, A.J. Green. Those are my favorite wide receivers of all time. And I like Amari Cooper too. I like Amari Cooper a lot, but he's not one of my favorite of all time. But I think it'll be really dumb if the Bengals tried to trade Joe Burrow to the Vikings for Justin Jefferson. Now, granted, next year is going to be a very talented quarterback class. So, my thing is this. What is the Bengals trying to accomplish if they do that? If they trade Joe Burrow away, you're trading your franchise quarterback away. Everybody thinks Joe Burrow is one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. He is the savior of the Cincinnati Bengals franchise, yada, yada, yada. I don't think that much of Burrow. I think Joe Burrow is severely overrated. My thing is, I have not seen this guy without any of his weapons throughout his entire football career. And I'm not going to sit here and act like Joe Burrow is that guy, and it's all Joe Burrow. He has arguably the best wide receiver in the entire league, and Jamar Chase in his first years in the league, he has been historically great, not just great in this era, historically great than any wide receiver of all time. So you want to sit here and tell me Joe? It's all you're going to sit here and tell me Joe Burrow is that guy? He's good, but I'm not going to sit here and say Joe Burrow is the best or he's the Messiah. And he got arguably the Messiah at wide receiver. So we know what Jamar Chase can do without anybody, without any quarterback. We already know what Jamar Chase can do. We don't know what Joe Burrow can do without Jamar Chase. We don't know what Joe Burrow can do without any of his weapons. We don't know. We've never seen it. And I know Joe Burrow has been the problem sometimes why they came up short. I'm not going to give credit to Joe Burrow like that. I'm not going to fall into that loop that a lot of people wants to do. And you know, I hear Skip Bayless write him all the time, and it's really annoying. Joe Burrow is the best quarterback in the league. No, he's not. Joe Burrow is not the best quarterback in the league. He has never shown that he is the best quarterback in the league. As a matter of fact, he's never been the best quarterback in the league, ever. It's completely disrespectful to guys who actually does more than Joe Burrow with much less. It's disrespectful to Patrick Mahomes. It's disrespectful to Justin Herbert because Justin Herbert is better than Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow has not even been in the playoffs in the past 3 years. But Skip Bayless finds some way to fix under his freaking lip to say Joe Burrow is the best quarterback in the league. I'm critical of Josh Allen. He's not better than Josh Allen. He's not better than Lamar Jackson. We'll see, man. I want to know what's going to be the excuse for this year. There was an excuse for last year. They didn't have the defense. It was always an excuse. They always got an excuse for this guy, for Joe Burrow, too. What's going to be this year? Oh, it's going to be the same excuse. Like they put a lock on how they can give excuses for Joe Burrow. It's going to be this year again. Oh, he doesn't have a defense. Well, maybe if he wants a better defense, then he needs to take a pay cut. That's plain and simple. He has no room to complain about anything. He got paid. They paid him. They re-signed Jamar. They re-signed T. Higgins. There was time. Remember that time they didn't think that they was going to be able to keep them both. But the Bengals kept Higgins and Chase, and they re-signed and they got and Joe Burrow is paid, and they found out how to re-sign Trey Hendrickson. They signed all of them. They signed all of their players back, and we didn't think they was going to be able to keep all of them, and they did. They did that. The Bengals is literally giving Joe Burrow everything that he wants. How is it the Bengals' fault? It's not. And they drafted a defensive player in the first round. They thought he was going to be good, but he's been very underwhelming this year. But he was a rookie lot. He was a rookie this year. Maybe he can. Maybe that defensive guy that they draft. What was his name? I forget his name. Let's see. Bengals. What was his name? Yeah, Shamar Stewart, defensive end out of Texas A&M. They drafted him in the first round. So this tells you right here that the Bengals is trying to get their defense together. They drafted Shamar Stewart in the first round and the 17th pick. Again, he was underwhelming, very underwhelming, and he sat out, but they got him. So they signed him. So, and then the very next pick in round 2. What did they draft? They drafted a linebacker out of South Carolina, Demetrius Knight Jr. That's 2 picks. That's 2 defensive picks. And then they got Joe Burrow a guard, the 3rd pick. And then what they do again? They drafted another linebacker out of Clemson, Barrett Carter. Then what they do after that? They got Joe Burrow another alignment. They drafted Jalen Rivers, offensive lineman out of Miami, in round 5, pick 145th pick. And then round 6, they went on and just drafted a running back, Josh Brooks. So this is my thing. They re-signed Trey Hendrickson. They re-signed. They found out a way to keep Chase and Higgins. They drafted a linebacker. They drafted a defensive end, first round lineman. No, they drafted 2 defensive players, 2 first rounds, lineman, linebacker, lineman, running back. So you cannot tell me that the Bengals are not doing something to try to help Joe Burrow out. when is he has to take the blame, bro? Like, when are we going to stop giving excuses for like I said, the fans, the media, you criticize who you want to criticize, you praise who you want to praise. Joe Burrow, I would not be surprised if Joe Burrow doesn't even sniff the playoffs for the rest of his career. He's still going to be riding, and the media is still going to be riding with him on that Super Bowl run that he went for his first year, and then his rookie year. His second year he went to the AFC Championship. That's how convinced of how biased I think you guys are, the entire media, because it is already showing. Like you and the thing about it is that he gets hurt a lot. He's injury prone. So you guys, if it's not him being injured, you guys say his defense. If it's not his defense, you guys say it's because he was injured. And if it's not his injury or his defense, you guys blame it on his offensive line. But you forget about the fact that he has historically in the first few, in Jamar Chase's first years in the league, that Jamar Chase has historically been one of the greatest wide receivers of all time in his first years in the league. You guys, and then not only that, he has another number one wide receiver on the opposite of Jamar Chase. But I digress, man. I've been saying the same thing over and over again, and I'm going to keep doing it though until I just get proven right. Because,
Let's hear that. What is that?
She would.
We want to shut that down? Like,
no dice. I don't
know. I feel like Jamar can make a play with everybody. He had another Joe throwing in the ball, Shador throwing you the ball. You're okay.
I mean, we get Justin Jefferson to take, $45 million pay cut. We could get him.
Trade rumors about Joe Burrow to the Vikings. Have you guys heard that? What is that?
She would.
We want to shut that down? Like,
no dice.
I don't know. I feel like Jamar can make a play with everybody. He had another Joe throwing in the ball, Shador throwing you the ball. You're okay.
I mean, we get Justin Jefferson to take, $45 million pay cut. We could get him.
Trade rumors about Joe.
We'll see, man. I don't know. I don't think the Bengals are going to trade Joe Burrow. I don't see that happening. But anyway, so this is set. So the NFL, the first ever regular season game in Australia is set. San Francisco 49ers versus the Los Angeles Rams at the Melbourne Cricket Ground. What date is? Do they have a date on this? What's the date? I've never been to Melbourne, but I hear a lot of great things about Melbourne. I hear Melbourne is like really dope. So let me see. Hold on. Let me see what the date. I don't think they have a date yet. So let's see. Let's look at this article. Let's see. The National Football League has announced that the San Francisco 49ers will play the Los Angeles Rams in the historic first ever regular season game in Melbourne, Australia. The teams will meet at the iconic Melbourne Cricket Ground, MCG, in partnership with the Victorian State Government and visit Victoria. So I don't think there's a date yet. As we continue our preparations for the NFL's first ever regular season game at the MCG in Melbourne, we are delighted that the San Francisco 49ers will take on the Los Angeles Rams. This is a terrific opportunity to continue to support the league in this mission to grow the game of football. Yeah, I don't think there's a date yet. So I'll keep y'all updated on that. But 62 regular season NFL games have played outside the United States, with London, Berlin, Munich, Frankfurt, Madrid, Dublin, Sao Paulo, Mexico City, and Toronto having hosted games to date. So 2026 NFL International Market Games designates a new market city for 2026. So London, 2 games in London, and then Madrid, Spain, if I'm pronouncing that right, and then Melbourne, Australia, Mexico City, Mexico, Munich, Germany, Paris, France, and Raul de Janeiro, Brazil, if that's how you pronounce it. That's a lot of international games. To be honest with you all, I don't like it. I think it's too much on the players. I think it's too much. If it's not that far, it wouldn't be that. It's not that big of a deal. But going far. Going to some of these games are far, man. And 6 international games, and some of these games is going to the timing and the time difference is going to be way off. I think that's just not fair to the players, in my opinion. I mean, I feel like if they're gonna, and then they're talking about, and then the NFL, like I get it. I get the NFL is obsessed with the marketing of this. The NFL is obsessed with making the money, as they should. It's a freaking business. I'm not mad at that. I'm an entrepreneur myself, so you got to be obsessed at how you're gonna bring this money in. But at the same time, you got to be worried about your product too. You got to worry about how you take care of the product. And if these guys, these players, are not, they're your product, and there is no NFL without these players. So you Roger Goodell needs to be a little more smarter in how he's doing this. To be honest with you, for somebody to be in the position that Roger Goodell is in, and believe me, he is in a very, very powerful position. I just think he's one of the most dumbest people ever. Like I just don't like Roger Goodell. I think some of the stuff he does is just incredibly stupid. I don't get it. I just don't think he doesn't. I get the vision that he's trying to do with the NFL, but I don't think he strategizes things properly. And maybe he doesn't, because I don't know if the guy's ever played football in his life, if he really understands what it means to be a football player. But bro, like some of these games, I think that some of the timings on these games is way off. You know what I'm saying? And you got to be considerate of that. I mean, you don't want the players going out there and they're not at 100% because they have to travel across the damn world to go play football. Maybe in hopefully a good field. You see what I'm saying? I mean, football is one of the most brutal physical sports there is, if not the most brutal physical sport. And so you gotta. I mean, you talk about sending guys across the country or across the world or whatever to go play, and you're expecting the product expecting the game to still be top notch and be competitive. I don't like it, man, at all. I think if you're going to have these games internationally, you need to go ahead and plan it much better than how you're doing it. And then you're talking about an 18-week game. So you're talking about now. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I think it's getting to the point where, I mean, I don't really hear a lot of players complaining about it. So, I mean, I don't want to speak for them if nobody's really complaining about it. But I'm just thinking about it to myself. And please, I don't mind being wrong in this situation if players are okay with it. But I think it's terrible for the product, which is the players. You're talking about 18 weeks because they're going to add 18 weeks to the NFL. They're going to add more weeks to the NFL. They're just going to the NFL regular season game. It's going to happen. I mean, the NFL may not freaking the entire NFL season may not end until March. They might have the Super Bowl in freaking March, where the route that Roger Goodell is going. And then you're talking about turning this right back around. You know what I'm saying? Guys coming out preparing and everything. Off season and in preseason, and then you got, you know what I'm saying, they only have like a few months off. It's too much on the body, bro. Like, and in 18 weeks, and then you're talking about all these international games. I think it's disrespectful. And if Roger Goodell is going to do that, these guys needs to get paid more. They need guaranteed contracts, and they need to be getting paid more than NBA. And the NBA players, there should be no reason why NBA players is getting paid more than NFL players. No reason in hell. NFL puts out better product than NBA. The NFL is a better league than NBA. Football is a better sport than basketball. There should be no reason why NBA players is getting paid more. And the NFL brings in more revenue than NBA. Brings in more money than NBA. It's more watchable than NBA. There should be no reason why NBA players are getting paid more. There should be no reason. And if Roger Goodell's going to do that, Roger Goodell's going to do this, which he is going to do it. Like I said, the contracts needs to be guaranteed, point blank, period. And also, you need to figure out lifetime health insurance for these guys, because I don't like it. I don't like it. I have way too much respect for every single player in the NFL, and whether they suck or they don't suck, special teams all the way to the quarterback. I have way too much respect for all of them, and for that to go down like this. But I mean, I tell you, but this tells you like these guys are warriors. These guys, you can't sit here and tell me that, oh, they're only in it for the money. You can't tell me that. And I think if you say that, you just don't know what the hell you're talking about, because they're not getting paid. They're not getting paid more than other professional leagues. And these other professional athletes are not nearly putting their bodies on the line how NFL players are. I mean, some of these guys, man, they end up with health issues later on down the line after they retire. So you can't tell me that they are in it only for the money. Like, if you are literally only playing football only for the money, I don't even believe that to be true, because there are so many other things you could be doing out there in the world for you to be making more money than the NFL, and you not having to put your body on the line like the NFL players has been. It's a violent, brutal sport, and you may not feel it. Right, you may not feel it in the game, but you can feel it probably afterwards, or you may not feel it in your career, and you can feel some stuff coming up after your career. So that's what I'm saying. It's a risk, man. It's a risk playing this game. But like I said, I don't like it at all, and it's just, I just think it's Roger Goodell can just, I don't like Roger Goodell. I never liked him. But let's keep it pushing. All right, so this is something interesting. You already know I got to talk about my boy Justin Herbert, man. So I thought this was a very interesting storyline. So NFL analyst Sam Monson responds after receiving massive backlash over his MVP vote for Justin Herbert. I don't know why. I mean, so this is what Sam Monson said. I was the Justin Herbert vote. The guy had the worst offensive line in the NFL all season, despite that he was working miracles in almost every single game. Exactly. Stafford's offensive line became 2/5 as bad as Herbert's for 5 minutes, and he became a turnover. He embodied value. See, that's what I'm saying, bro. Like, y'all just, I'm glad some people starting to wake up to my Herbert takes. Like, and it wasn't even just his offensive line. It was his terrible offensive coach. Like, did you see, like, if the play calling wasn't so trash against New England, we would have beat New England. Drake May made a couple throws here and there, but Drake May was almost just as trash as Justin Herbert was in that game. And Drake May wasn't facing nearly as much as adversity as what Justin Herbert was going through. So if Justin Herbert, like I said, if Drake Roman wasn't such an idiot with his play calling, we would have won that game. I mean, you saw what they was doing, and I said Justin Herbert was trash, like Drake May. Like, the result was trash, not Justin Herbert, because if you watch that game, you saw the nonsense that he had to go through, like always, and he put his team on his back all year. Unfortunately, the stuff that Justin Herbert did all year, it didn't work against New England. But I honestly don't think that, given what Justin Herbert was given, he played that bad. It was just Greg Roman trying to turn the dude into a running back in the playoffs. Like, it's just like, bro, like, the play calling was just horrendous. I mean, we was in the red zone twice, and we came away with nothing because Greg Roman's trash play calling. So hence, it wasn't only the offensive line like Justin Herbert had to go through. It was just the play calling. Our wide receivers were nowhere to be found. Keenan Allen dropping balls. There's only so much Justin Herbert can do. I guarantee you, if Justin Herbert would have won a couple playoff games, he would have been like, it would have been no question. But everybody's going to say, "Oh, he hasn't even won a playoff game, yada yada yada," and you're knocking this dude for a team success, team results. But I digress. That's what pisses me off, because I don't know why Justin Herbert is so hated by fans in the media. And you say he hasn't even won a playoff game. But what's worse? What's worse? What's really worse? A quarterback that went healthy, and his team, and it's obvious that his team has not evolved to him. His offensive side of the ball has not evolved to him. And they make it to the playoffs every year. He drives them to make it to the playoffs every year. Or a quarterback that went to the Super Bowl his first year and then went to the AFC Championship his second year and has been in the league for 6 years and has yet to been in the playoffs the next 3 years. What's worse? I think missing the playoffs 3 years in a row and counting is worse, because at least Justin Herbert is making his team a winning team and going to the playoffs. It's only going to be a matter of time when he's going to start winning playoff games. And who's to say that when he does start winning playoff games, that's just not it? He goes all the way and he wins it all. Who's to say that doesn't happen? You do know that there has been a quarterback who has been historically great individual-wise and only made it to one Super Bowl and lost that Super Bowl early in his career. And when people talk about the greatest quarterbacks of all time, they never mention his name, even though that quarterback, individual-wise, in my opinion, is one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time, if not the greatest quarterback of all time. We're talking about Dan Marino. Dan Marino went to one Super Bowl. I don't know if it was his rookie year or his second year. I can't remember. But it was within his first 3 years in the league. And he has never went, and he lost. Joe Burrow was on that route. I wouldn't be surprised if Joe Burrow never ever makes it to the Super Bowl. Now, the media won't tell you that. The media is going to make it sound like he's going to go. The media makes it sound like he's going to go. He's going to win one. I don't see that ever happening. I really don't. I'm telling you right now, I will not be surprised if he never, ever goes to the Super Bowl ever again. Drew Brees only been to, one Super Bowl? He only won one. Drew Brees is a much better quarterback than Joe Burrow. Aaron Rodgers, he's still trying to see if he can at least go to the AFC Championship. Aaron Rodgers, one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time, one of the most talented quarterbacks of all time, if not the greatest, if not the most talented quarterback of all time. He's only been to one. It took Peyton Manning years to win his first. So what I'm basically saying is that if it's a time for a quarterback to struggle in the playoffs, I think it will be now in his earlier years. Hence Justin Herbert. If you really watch the games of the Chargers, you will see why. You will see what the actual reasons are behind Justin Herbert's lack of success in the Super Bowl, in the playoffs. You will see it. Or you could be a lazy analyst. You can regurgitate what the media is saying, what fans are saying, because the fans is regurgitating what the media is saying. And you can just leave it at that. And then when he starts going off, and then you're going to start writing Justin Herbert. You're going to start regurgitating, where everybody's saying, because everybody's going to start writing Justin Herbert, start saying, oh, Justin Herbert is great, yada, yada, yada. He's one of the best quarterbacks, if not the best quarterbacks in the league. I already know that's where that's going to go. I digress, though. So, speaking of, since we're on this topic, Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert, I talked about Jamar Chase and his take on Jay Jetta. If he takes a $45 million cut in the Joe Burrow trade, even though I'm not all that big on Joe Burrow, I think it'll be dumb if the Bengals trades him. I thought this was an interesting take, I guess you can say, but not take, but I think it was interesting what Jamar Chase said here. I want to talk Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. It was on the
Hello, it's your favorite sports thunk here. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button to join the fastest growing. To be a normal occurrence situation before. Not Jamar led
1A, 1B, the greatest receivers in the NFL. Matter of fact, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, they need no introduction, but I'm gonna introduce them anyway.
Jamar had 125 catches, 1,412 yards, 8 touchdowns. T had 59 catches, 846, and 11 touchdowns. But unfortunately, that was not enough because Joe got hurt, and they ended up going 6-11, third in the AFC. I'm gonna start with you, Chase, bro. You know, you've been in this situation before, not here, but you've been in the Super Bowl. You know what it takes. And once you get that taste in your mouth, it's kind of like a dog once he bites somebody. You got to be very, very careful because he wants to continuously bite. Once you got that feeling, what is it going to take for this to be a normal occurrence where you guys really compete for a championship year after year?
Yeah, everybody knows the turn defense win championship. And we got to start that first. First things first, we got to work on that. And then we can worry about the offensive side. We got the weapons for that. We've been having the weapons, but by far, everybody knows we got to get that defense right to get back here.
T, I got a question. Put your GM hat on. You're the GM. You're Mike Brown. You're Katie. You're Duke. Any of those people that are in positions of power that can make the changes necessary to make sure we get the opportunities to always be in contention. Not the AFC North. I'm talking about throughout the entirety of the league and being in the postseason. What changes do you think need to be made? Keep it PC. But just if you were in that position, what do you think needs to happen?
I feel like I would go and get somebody on the interior D line.
Yes,
Max Crosby,
Jeffrey Simmons.
Look, we both said that earlier.
I said Max Crosby. I said Max Crosby. You said Jeffrey Simmons.
See,
that's two dogs
like
we
it.
gonna need for sure.
I like it.
For sure.
You have to, like you said, because at some point in time, look, you won the Triple Crown last year. And guess what? Missed the playoffs. I had another 125 catch, 1,400 catch season. Missed the playoffs. You're in the Pro Bowl. Missed the playoffs. At some point in time, I love these individual stats, but I play a team sport. If this was tennis, if this was golf, I'm good. I'm Gucci. Sure. But we play team sports, and I want to have team success.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the main thing. Like, all the individual success, that's cool. You know what I mean? But we play the game to make it to the Super Bowl
Exactly.
at the end of the day. So if we're not doing that, then we're not doing nothing for the organization.
One of the other problems that we've always had as a team, for one, being able to compete week in and week out, it's not the elephant in the room because it's happened many times in his short career. How do we keep Brother Nine healthy? How do we keep him healthy for a full season so we can have that consistency?
Offensive line.
It's one thing that... What?
Offensive line. Excuse me.
Come on. How do we keep our brother upright? How do we keep him healthy for a full season so we can have those chances to be talking about competing in the Super Bowl?
Honestly, I mean, he said offensive line, but I don't think we need a new offensive line. I'm gonna be honest. They did a good job this year, and in the show, stats could prove it. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like the biggest thing, that's more of an off the field thing. I'm not saying he don't take care of his body, but that do come in him to play. Maybe he got to do more with himself. You know what I'm saying? So that could be a him thing. Maybe the eating, you know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of different ways you can look at that on the opinion side, but at the end of the day, it's really got to be a him thing.
He been listening to Ocho talk about eating McDonald's.
No, he doesn't listen to me.
He don't eat McDonald's.
He don't. See?
He don't. I'm the only one that eat McDonald's in the locker room. I ask him that shit at my locker every morning.
See what I'm talking about?
That boy ask you want some?
You want some?
No,
I take him a grip.
See, now you get a better understanding. Those in the chat that listen, you heard what he eat? You heard what he eat? That's why the success is what it is. You ain't see? You saw the clip? You saw the little clip of Joe in McDonald's? You ain't see that?
I did see that.
You ain't see it?
He was sitting down in there.
Yeah, he was sitting down in McDonald's. So I'm telling you, he probably taking heed to you know what? Let me listen to what Ocho been saying, and I'm gonna just,
Are you guys the best duo in football?
Yeah,
I believe so.
Yeah, that's it.
Believe
so.
Man, talk your shit, man. Don't do that.
I ain't gotta pop it too much, man. I don't need to pop too much.
Okay.
Because if I start popping it too much, it's too much.
Nah,
everybody gonna say.
Can you say it, T? Y'all the best duo in football?
Feel like so? Yeah.
Nah, don't say it like that, man. Say it.
Look, since you want me to pop it so much, let's turn on the film and look at duo tapes.
There we go.
Let's turn on the film and look at duo tapes if you want to go there. That's all I need to say.
Speaking of duos in the NFL, is there another duo that you guys appreciate and like watching?
I like C.D. Lamb and George Pickens.
Ooh,
I like that.
Oh yeah,
that's a great duo. You know what I'm saying? They complement each other.
Right.
See, that's
a good one.
That's a good one.
Do you see a picture? I've always said I would love, and people they get on me. Well, you didn't say that when it was time for T and then Chase. I've been vouching for George Pickens to go somewhere else where he can get his true value and what he's really worth, because I understand how Jerry Jones is going to play when it comes time to pay. And what Pickens, to me, is shown is he can be a true number one, have his own team outside of having to share catches with CeeDee Lamb. What's your thoughts on George Pickens staying in Dallas or going somewhere else where he can have his own team and be the number one?
I could see both. You know what I'm saying? I could. You know what I'm saying? Like he got another guy on the other side that that defense got to focus on. You know what I'm saying? So that open him up, kind of like how we go. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, dude good enough to go take over a team. You know what I'm saying? So
sure. I gotta agree with that though. I feel like I don't know. I like that Batman Robin shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I like that. You know what I'm saying? I feel like it's just a lot more production coming out of the duo thing than the single person thing. Right. You know what I'm saying? It's easy to lock your ass down when you by yourself, bro. And I always tell him this shit when I be playing by myself sometimes. Cause he come to the bench and I'm pissed off and he like, bro, I be like, you know what I'm saying? I gotta go take me a stroll down the sideline.
I gotta tell motherfuckers, hey, leave him alone.
Yeah, like he know how I am. You know what I'm saying?
Good.
It gets to a point where it get aggravating when you by yourself. So that's why I always vouch, like, you know what I'm saying? I need T, not for me, but it's helping the whole offense. You know what I'm saying? Now it's opening up the run game, not the passing game. Now we going any down. We can pass the ball every down. And they don't know.
Right. But I think the thing is for me, for George, and because you see a guy at his size, huge cage radius, he can catch the ball in traffic. He's physical. He's great run after the catch. He can take a smoke route and go 80, or he can take it off over the top for 60. But when I look at him, he had to leave Pittsburgh because he had gotten comfortable. Because he had gotten comfortable doing things his way. So he needed to go somewhere else where they weren't going to accept that. And once he locked in, he's like, well, damn, you mean to tell me I could do this? I got this. I got 1,500 yards at me. Yes.
And I also think he was in the better offense.
Yes.
I'm about to say, I think that's what it more was. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it's him getting used to something because you could get bored with it over time, but I think also what's around you could make that character.
But you can, as a professional, you can never let your circumstances dictate how you play. It was dictating how he played.
Yeah, but that
I don't think that
it's a lot more than that. Yeah, it's a lot more than that because everybody got their opinion on what he's doing in that locker room. You know what I'm saying? Don't nobody really know what's going on. You judging for somebody else and don't nobody know what he's going through. You know what I'm saying? So you can't really look at him
on the tape. I just look at him he said it. You saw against Detroit on Thanksgiving. He has a tendency to drift. And he's not the first. I don't want people to think, well, I'm saying George Pickens is the first receiver. It happens a lot because what we would do with our number one receiver, we would get him involved early so we could have him late. Because why am I asking, why am I going to throw Chase the ball? I'm going to go the whole first half, and I am not going to give Chase any catches. Then come fourth quarter, hey, Chase, you ready? No, I ain't ready. I was ready in the first half.
T, what do I say when I come back to the sideline sometimes?
I'm tired of this superhero shit.
Fucking think I'm a superhero. You know what I'm saying? So like some of that happens sometimes. Right. And like you said, you're a fucking pro.
Yes.
And they gonna expect you to make this shit. They giving you this money, they're gonna expect you to make. So what you got to do?
Give it to me. If you give it to me early. I ain't saying you got to throw me 15 balls in the first quarter. Right. But I'm saying
3 targets a quarter. That's all you need.
Give me an opportunity. I just want to touch the ball. Throw me a smoke. Throw me a slant. Throw me a jailbreak screen. Just give me something. I want to touch the ball. But y'all want me to go. They didn't ask Michael Jordan to wait to the fourth quarter to shoot the ball or Kobe.
It's different though. We're not about to put basketball and football in the same time. That nigga MJ could take that nigga pass the ball. He gonna do this in front of.
He gonna throw that right back.
I gotta wait for Joe to hike the ball from the center. I gotta run past 2 defenders, cut this. It's a lot more.
But see, they know how to get you the ball. When you go on the sideline and you say leave him alone, he acting up. Zach.
So you saying why they gotta wait till that long?
Yeah.
I understand that. You know what I'm saying? And
why I gotta show out? Why y'all make me show myself?
Sometimes the game take you away.
You know what's funny? I think happens all the time is I think coaches at times they overcomplicate things. Because it's really easy. It's simple. There's a scheme, there are tactics, and if you want to get a player, the ball, you can get a player the ball. You can get him the ball early. Yes. You don't have to get it to him often, but just to get him involved, let T touch it, let Chase touch it. Okay, now I can run my offense.
Yes.
Now, when the time comes and the defense dictates, okay, now we can get him the ball, then allow the flow of the offense to go through them.
Yeah. Hey, they don't throw me the ball the whole first half, and they come the first quarter. Hey, 84, what you like? I would like to get the ball in the first half. That's what I would really like. Now y'all want me to be the offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
Y'all told me to stay in my place earlier. Now y'all want me to be the offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm good.
Yeah.
Keep doing spreading around. You know, we gonna spread it around, get it.
No. Well, as more I hear Chad talk, I feel like Chad Ochocinco. Y'all let me know what y'all think. I feel like Chad Ochocinco would be a really great offensive coordinator. I would like. I feel like he has the knowledge of an offense and how to get. I mean, obviously how to get wide receivers involved. But I really liked what he said because he was saying, you know, we're gonna let. It's very simple. We're gonna let T touch the ball. Well, Chase touch the ball. T touch the ball. Then we're gonna do what we do, follow our plan, and let that flow. Because that energy, that momentum, because people don't understand. And I say this a lot on the channel. Like football is a game of momentum, and it's a game of emotions. Like that's why having tone setters on your team is so crucial. It's so essential. When you can have tone setters on your team, a couple tone setters, like it just changes the entire dynamic of how your team is going to play. And when you get your receivers, your star receivers, you got a receiver like Chase, Jetta, freaking George Pickens, AJ Brown, Tyreek Hill when he's healthy, freaking Mike Evans, Garrett Wilson, Malik Neighbors, guys like that. When you get them involved early, I don't want to say win. You should, because those are dangerous offensive weapons. Like those type of guys that I just named, those are weapons. They're not just wide receivers; they're weapons. And so you get them involved. It's like let's get them involved right now. It doesn't even matter. Like if I was the offensive coordinator, the first play of the game will always go right to my star wide receiver, point blank period. First target, because he's a star wide receiver for a reason. It's like everybody knows he's getting the ball, but the thing about it is, it doesn't matter if everybody knows he's getting the ball. Can everybody stop him from getting the ball? That's the point. And so I would have the first play go to him. That would be part of the game plan. Quick, fast, easy, in a hurry. So he can already be locked in already, especially if I got somebody like George Pickens. They just think different. They move different. And as a head coach, as a coach or an offensive coordinator, you need to be able to understand your players psychologically. You got it. Like I always said, like being a coach is being a salesman. You got to be able to sell your idea, sell your product to your players. And if your players ain't buying into what you selling to them, guess what? You're not a great coach. You're not a great coach. And because you're not a great salesman. You got to be able to sell it. Like you got to be able to market what you're saying. You got to be able to market the game plan. Like when you guys, I don't know the commentary that you guys watch or anything, but when you hear other players talk, or you know, when they say the guys are bought in, what are they buying into? They're buying into the coach. But what about other coach are they buying into? They're buying into the coach's philosophy of the game, of what he's bringing to the table. You see what I'm saying? And if guys aren't bought in, if guys they're not believing, the coach ain't getting through them. Like that's why guys like Jim Harbaugh, freaking Sean McVay, Andy Reid, that's why they're so successful, because people has bought into their system, their structure, their principles, their philosophy of the game. You see what I'm saying? So like I said, like Chad also said, Chad also says, like, a lot of these coaches, they try to make it so complicated. And I think a lot of these coaches try to make it so complicated because they're in way over their head. Some of these coaches shouldn't have no business being a coach. Just because you're in the NFL and you're a professional, you got a high position. I just talked about Roger Goodell. It doesn't mean that you're competent in what you're doing. You just kind of been fortunate enough to get into that position. I feel like I said, football is a game of emotions and momentum. That's not complicated. It's not complicated. But for some reason, it's very hard for people to grasp and grasp the intelligence of being emotional. It's very hard for a lot of people to do that. I think because so many people, their ego is in the way. When your ego is in the way, it's hard for you to be able to have emotional intelligence. It's hard for you to understand people psychologically, how to get through your people, you know. And so the game, like I said, football is a very simple game. Like some people say, like, I don't watch football because I don't understand it. It's really not that hard to understand. You don't have to watch the game and understand it. You don't have to like be a master in X's and O's just to watch the game of football and understand it. It's not that difficult. And there's some guys who plays the game and they don't even know X's and O's. They just know how to go out there and just perform. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. But anyway, I like what Chad said. I'm just piggybacking on what he said because what he said was on point. And I think when I was listening to him, I was just like, I think he would be a wonderful OC. I don't know if he would ever do that or have that opportunity, but I honestly think he'll be a wonderful OC because Chad knows how to get through guys. People respect him. He knows where to meet people where they're at. And I think he's very knowledgeable in an offensive game, you know, so offensive side of the ball. That will be interesting though. But yeah. And also to go back on what Chase said when he's talked about Joe Burrow, I've talked about this before, like maybe months ago in my older videos. I don't even think I was even talking about this when I was doing live. I think I talked about this when I was still recording videos and I was uploading them on one of those older videos. I mentioned about, actually, I talked about it when Joe Burrow got hurt. So this was back in September, October. And I mentioned, I was just like, bro, like people keeps trying to blame Joe Burrow's offensive line. It's not his offensive line. Joe Burrow stresses. He presses a lot, man. Like he gets the ball and he stresses so much on his offensive line to keep protecting him because he's waiting for plays down the field to open up. And he gets hurt. He gets hit. He takes unnecessary hits. And that's not his offensive line's fault. That's Joe Burrow's fault. And that's where Jamar Chase was getting at, you know? And so, but again, the media is going to do whatever they can to protect Joe Burrow, to protect their golden boy. But in time, you guys will see how correct I am about this. I mean, I've been saying Joe Burrow is very overrated for years now. And it's not going to stop unless he proves me otherwise. But yeah. And it was something. Oh yeah, they talked about, you know, their top play wide receiver duo. I mean, it's no argument there with George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb. I think outside of Chase and Higgins, yeah, Pickens and CeeDee Lamb definitely. I don't think this year Chase and Higgins was number one. It was Pickens and CeeDee Lamb number one. All the other years, yeah. Now, my favorite, I do like to make the argument. It obviously wasn't this year or the year before, but Jetta and Addison, they had a little something to say about that. They had a little something to say about that at time. But Addison, he just kind of keeps getting in trouble or can't stay on the field sometimes. And the Vikings, they just cannot seem to get the quarterback situation right. But I think if they can get that together, I think Jetta and Addison is going to be the best duo in the league, period. Because Addison is a dog. He's a dog. Like Jordan Addison, I think Jordan Addison is actually a better wide receiver than T. Higgins. Actually, a much better wide receiver than T. Higgins. Jordan Addison's problem is that he just cannot get his head right. Like I don't know what's going on with Addison. Like I don't think he had these issues when he was at USC. So I don't really know what is his problem. I really don't. But Jordan Addison's a freaking dog. And they can get that together with him and they can get them a quarterback. Mark my words, believe me when I say this, it's hands down, period. Addison and Jetta, best duo in the league. Best duo in the league, period. Now, because Addison, he's the type of wide receiver, he can play anybody good in any situation. He can play good in any system. Addison is a true number one. True number one. I know this. Like I said, I'm a diehard USC fan. I saw Addison playing at USC. I knew Addison was a dog at USC. I was excited to see what he was going to do in the league. Now, I pushed back on it a little bit. I'm going to be honest. I pushed back on it a little bit because the reason why I did, because when the last USC wide receiver I was really, really big on, outside of all Michael Pittman, Drake London, all those other guys, Marquise Lee. Jordan Addison kind of reminded me a lot of Marquise Lee, and I was really big on Marquise Lee coming out of college, coming out of USC. I thought Marquise Lee was going to take the NFL by storm, and he didn't. Marquise Lee was very underwhelmed. Marquise Lee, huge bust. Marquise Lee, very disappointing. To this day, I can't get over how Marquise Lee just couldn't get it right in the league. But so I just, I had my little antennas up. I was hoping Addison was going to transition, and he did. He did. Yeah, he definitely did. He definitely showed up. But yeah, just keep your eyes open for that, man. Jordan, I'm telling you right now, the Vikings can get a quarterback situation taken care of. I'm telling you, Jetta and Addison gonna do their thing. They're gonna be number one. But yeah, I was also thinking though, this is just a scenario. This is just hypothetical. I'm just thinking, because I'm a Chargers fan. But I think if the Chargers can pull off getting Tyreek Hill, a lot of people don't like Tyreek Hill now. Like a lot of Chargers fans base, they think they don't want Tyreek Hill nowhere near LA. And I think other Chargers fans base just needs to just shut up because, and I was watching a podcast when they were knocking Hill, talking about, his off the field issues and he's coming off huge injuries, yada yada. Dude, just shut up. Like, you don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, he's coming off huge injuries, 32, whatever. But before his injury, first off, he wasn't playing all that bad this year. First off, before the injury, he wasn't playing that bad. Okay, he got hurt. Guys get hurt. Players get hurt. Okay, and injuries don't affect all football players the same. That's another thing. Okay, and this injury is not going to affect Tyreek Hill like how it affects other wide receivers. Tyreek Hill is built different. He's made different. He's a different person. He's a different player. Okay, so that's another thing. So off the field issues, his off the field issues don't seem all that bad to me for us to be like, oh my God, like there's some guys who has done much worse than Hill and they get chances all the time. Okay. A lot of his off the field issues seems a lot personal to me. Just some situations between him and his, I haven't really looked deep into his stuff. It just seemed relationship problems. A lot of players has those problems with relationships. It just somehow it leaks off into the media, I guess. I don't know. But to be honest with you, I haven't really cared that much to look into much of the situations, Tyreek Hill's off the field issues. I really haven't. And to be honest with you, I really don't care. What I want to see is the Chargers to go ahead and take a swing on him, and for him to produce for Justin Herbert. I want to see him play well for Herbert because Herbert deserves a wide receiver like Hill. Now I'm saying this because I think Hill and Ladd can be a wonderful duo. Dynamic duo. Ladd got wheels, Hill got wheels. Under Mike McDaniel, that would actually be a better tandem than Daniel had at Miami. And you saw what happened with Waddle and Hill. Ladd will take a lot of the stress off Hill. He would. Hill is a weapon. Hill is a weapon. When he was healthy, he was arguably the best wide receiver in the league when he was healthy. And there was discussions. I would look it up. There were discussions that they were having. It was Hill, like, not just the best in the league, best in the era. There were times when they were talking about Hill being one of the greatest of all time. They were comparing him to Moss. When Hill was going off, they were comparing him to that because that's how dangerous Tyreek Hill was. So a player of that caliber, a player that dangerous, who do the Charger fans think they are to say we don't want Hill? Bro, we have not won anything for us to say we don't want a player like Hill nowhere near our team. We don't have that luxury to say that. Now, if we were the Philadelphia Eagles, if we were the Kansas City Chiefs, if we were even the Pittsburgh Steelers, I would even say if we were even the Dallas Cowboys, because those franchises, and I'm going to throw out the San Francisco 49ers over there, those franchises has won something. Those are historically great franchises. New England Patriots too. Those are historically great franchises. Even the New York Giants. Those franchises, when you think of those franchises, you think of greatness. You think of what they did historically. The Charger fan base has no luxury to say anything like that. We don't want Hill near our team. Bro, we are nobody for us to say that at all. We're nobodies right now. We have won absolutely nothing. We are known for charging. Even with Jim Harbaugh being our head coach, we are still known for coming up short in games and just being pretty much a laughing stock of the NFL. We have yet to get our franchise quarterback, who I have been battling and debating and arguing for since he's been in the league, that he is a great quarterback, that he is not the top 5, the best quarterback. We have yet to get him a playoff win. If we can get somebody like Hill on our squad who has won a Lombardi trophy, who has helped Patrick Mahomes get his ring, and who was up for runner MVP. When was the last time has anybody on the Chargers team ever been runner up for MVP? When was the last time that has ever happened? Tyreek Hill is going to become a first ballot Hall of Famer when he retires, as he should, or at least unless he should. We need somebody like Tyreek Hill. The Chargers fan base should just shut the hell up, because they have no right to say we don't want a player like Tyreek Hill on our squad, because Tyreek Hill has something that nobody on the Chargers fan base has at all, and that's he has a ring. And he has experience with a Super Bowl winning team and Super Bowl winning quarterback. Maybe he is frustrated and he was doing what he was doing in Miami because the Miami players weren't living up to the expectations that Tyreek Hill wanted. Maybe that's the case. So, yeah, just shut up. And I hope Joe Ortiz is not listening to any of y'all, because you guys don't know what you're talking about. You're just being emotional and you're just regurgitating what you think you want to say, and there's no credibility or validity of anything that you're talking about at all. So that's all I got to say about that. I hope Ortiz brings him in. Now, if Hill is asking for a lot of money, now that changes the narrative of what I'm talking about. I highly doubt Hill will be asking for a lot of money, though. I highly doubt that, because Hill knows the situation that he's in, and I think Hill still wants to play. And I also think Hill does not mind playing for Mike McDaniel. And I also think it works out very well for Hill because he's in the same division as the Chiefs. He can get at the Chiefs twice a year, maybe 3 times a year in the playoffs, counting the playoffs. And yeah, he will have the best quarterback he's ever had. Not a knock on Mahomes. You guys know how I feel about Herbert. Throwing to him. Perfect situation for Hill. Perfect situation. I honestly think this will be the best offense that Hill, personnel-wise, that he'll be around. You got 2 really stud wide running backs right behind you, maybe 3 if Najee Harris comes back. Then you got Arondé Gadsden, who's looking like a very promised tight end. And then you got, and maybe we draft that stud tight end also in the draft, maybe. And then you got Joe Watt, you got Rashawn Slater, then you got Ladd, and I don't think Tyreek Hill has ever played great aside of a wide receiver outside of like Ladd's caliber. And then who's to say what can Trey Harris come out and do what he can do? Trey Harris, he showed some great signs this year. KLS is another burner. You can't tell me KLS won't work well under Mike McDaniel's offense. So you got 3 burners right there. You're talking about Hill. You mean to tell me Hill won't be productive, won't have some effect if you got Hill, KLS, and Ladd? Come on, man. Come on. So I would like to see that, man. I would like to see that. I would like to see that. Yeah. I think that would be a great scenario. And Justin Herbert he deserves it, man. He deserves it. I don't want to hear people saying, "Oh, we're fine with the wide receiver room." That's where the Chargers always ends up, where they end up every year, is by us saying stuff like that. No, we gave this team a shot to win a game in the playoffs. The same team, and they didn't do it. Jim Harbaugh gave them a shot. He said, we want to bring everybody back. We're going to run it back. He brought all the coaches back. He brought all the players back. And look what happens. The same result. No, we don't got the guys. We don't. We need to get some guys. We need to get some guys. We need guys. The only guys I can think of that's on the Chargers team is Darren James and Justin Herbert, Marion. Slater, all stops there. We need more guys. We need more guys. All right, so yeah, Chargers needs to get some guys in there. If Tyreek Hill is toxic, maybe we need a little bit of toxicity in his locker room. We need something. We need somebody to kick some dudes in the ass, because right now the Chargers is lacking it. And I'm not going to sit here and go another year and say, oh, this is the year and we got the same players. I don't believe in a lot of the players that's playing on the Chargers right now. I don't believe in them. I'm tired of the same scenarios. No, we need some dogs in there. We need some guys in there. So let's get it. Let's get it. Tyreek Hill is historically great wide receiver. So let's get it, man. He stresses defenses. He has been a lot of results of why teams has won Super Bowls. He has been that result. He has been that he was the method. He is the method. So the way he's acting is the reason why the way he's acting is because, like I said, maybe he's just frustrated. People are not living up to his level of greatness. Just that simple. All right. So, and you saw what he did with Tua. He had his best season of his entire career with Tua. Tyreek Hill was up for run. It wasn't too long ago when he was MVP candidate as a wide receiver with a quarterback like Tua. What do you think he can do with a quarterback like Justin Herbert with Lat McConkey on the other side? Come on, Charter fan base. Think with your head. All right. So, man, that's all I got. Noel, I wanted to share this with y'all. I thought this was interesting, man. I just thought, like, what's the guy's name? The fullback for the 49ers, Cal Kruvak. Oh my God, I forget his last name. But I was watching Nightcap. I was watching a little bit of Nightcap earlier today. And bro, I thought I'm like, bro, Cal got the best wife that a man can ask for. Like how supportive she was of him. And I'm like, you don't hear women talk like that nowadays. I mean, when she said, I want him to be selfish, I want somebody to tell me, have you ever dated a woman, married a woman, and she told you she wants you to be selfish? Like, no, I want you to be selfish. I want you to focus on your career. I want you to do everything you possibly can in your career, because when it's all said and done, I don't want you to regret. I don't want you to regret that you didn't do what you wish you could have done when it's all said and done. Those are things I say to myself. I never would have thought in a million years a woman would say that. I'm like, bro, Lord bless me with a wife like Cal, like for real. And I'm about to find it. I got the video. I'm gonna find the segment when she said that, because what she said was, I'm like, bro. I'm like, y'all, like, if a woman if y'all are entrepreneurs or creators or athletes, if your woman ain't talking like that, like this, you need to get rid of it quick, fast, and a hurry. Cause it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard. Like when you do make it, it's still gonna be hard to maintain that. So that's why you see a lot of these guys, these athletes, these billionaires, these entrepreneurs, even billionaires, entrepreneurs, they end up in divorce because it's just not there. And the type of mentality that she has, I'm gonna be honest. I've been very pessimistic about women because I'm just like, it just ain't there. But I guess obviously it is. You just got to be patient enough to wait for her to come around. But I'm gonna play the video, man. Y'all tell me, have you ever heard a woman talk like this? I haven't. Just give me a second. Hold up. And then I'm gonna end this segment on this because I'm like, bro.
I think your kids are cute and cuddly. Some of the guys want to rest. Some of these guys, hey, come on in here. We'll talk about this later. What's up, Cal? How you doing, bro?
How
you doing, bro?
Good to see you. Nice to meet you.
How are you?
What up, twin?
He said, "What up, twin?"
Joining us now is Kyle and Christian Juszczyk. The 49ers fullback, 2013 fourth round pick out of Harvard.
Juszczyk.
Yes, sir.
You went to Harvard too?
Yes.
He's
He's one of our most famous alumni.
Thank you. Hey, Kyle, I try to tell him all the time I was there. They never believe me. So I'm glad you're here to attest to that.
I've seen your picture on the wall.
Thank you.
A Raven.
I also like to tell people I went to Harvard.
Yes.
A fourth round draft pick from Harvard. He started his career with the Ravens 2013 to 2016, and now he's present with the 49ers from 2017 until present. And we just had Patrick Willis on here, and he retired at 29 years of age. He said the injury, his toes, had just taken his toll on him. The injuries this year, you get Purdy goes down. Mac Jones played really well, keep you guys afloat. Kittle hurts his hamstring. He misses some time, comes back, tears his Achilles. T-Dub, he goes down. I mean, Bosa, he goes down. Fred Warner, he goes down. How were you able, the injuries, that's one thing, but how were you guys able to keep this thing afloat while so many injuries were piling up?
Yeah, you know what? I really think it comes down just to the culture that we've built in San Francisco. And it truly is that next man up mentality. And it sounds cliche and nobody wants to hear it, but I really do think that we've set this standard that when guys go down, like they know, okay, I need to be up to this standard if I want to stick around here. So I think we just did a really good job of having that standard, and guys were ready to meet it when they got their opportunity.
Yeah. The funny thing I always want to ask, I've watched you play many of years, the value that you bring to a team. You think about the game and how the game has evolved, and now it's a passing league. Being a fullback, but that's the funny thing. You're not just a fullback. They can put you in the slot. Hell, they can line your ass up out wide, and you can actually run routes
He
just like
pulled him up like y'all dang will throw me.
But how did you get yourself to a point where you're so valuable to any of the 32 teams that you would play on?
Yeah.
Despite the game evolving the way it has.
Forever, dating all the way back to high school. Like my thing has always been versatility and being able to adapt. And as a fullback, you better be able to adapt because each year you got to find something that you're adding value to.
Yes.
And every year of my career has been different. Like there were a few years back in Baltimore where, I was really playing short yardage goal line, and then that's not enough to just have a roster spot. Right. So you better play you better play special teams. And then I became the third down running back.
Yes.
So I started, I learned all the protections, and so every year I've had to find that niche of like, all right, what does this team need this year?
Right.
And how can I fill that? And it's just been a strength of mine. And I think that's a big part of my longevity in this league.
Kristen, you did the better half of this gentleman right here. You attend every single game.
I do.
Road, home, overseas, Alaska, it does not matter. Why is it so important for you to be at every single one of his games?
Yeah, well, there's so many reasons. It's such a short-lived career, and we know that these are our glory days, and I never want to miss out on just these special moments. Being there, we've had so many amazing moments. There was a moment in Seattle that me and Claire Kittle, who I traveled all the games with, we actually got a seat in the end zone, and we were first row in the end zone. George scores and he jumps into the suite with us. The next drive, Kyle scores in the end zone, jumps into the suite with us, and those memories are just burned into our souls. And those are that's the reason why we go.
One of the things I do want to ask also is we never get to see the two. We never get to see the union. How you're able to balance the work and also keep a healthy balance in a relationship.
Yeah. To be honest, I think for us, it just comes so naturally. It's not something that we really needed to work on. We just genuinely like spending time with each other and loving each other. And I think that's my biggest piece of advice for relationships. Like if it's real work, then that's not the right person for you.
Right.
I think it should come naturally.
Say that again. If it's not what?
If it's real work, it's not the right person for you.
Saying that.
People are saying that marriage is so hard, and
They're like,
we
read
always
the
look
ma-
at each other we're like,
They're like, read the marriage books. I'm like, if you got to read a book on marriage, you're
Right.
not married to the right person.
I like that.
Okay.
I like it because me and
He's
Unc,
like, I'm throwing away all
it's
my
funny.
books.
Me and Unc, we think about getting married in 2027 and having a dual wedding. You know.
I love it.
Yeah, we love it too.
You need an
I think
officiator?
you
He's very
guys.
well
You need an
spoken.
officiator?
We need therapists. We need therapists. And the fact that you guys haven't figured out, you could counsel us.
We got you. We're
I'd like to
here
add that
for
to
you.
my resume.
But you hear this a lot, Claire, and you can speak to this. This is more so because you're going to do what you do. You understand you got practice. You understand we got meeting. I got to live. I got to watch tape. Talk about the sacrifices that the significant other, girlfriend, wife, whatever the case may be, that they have to make, because there are a lot of times he can't go to PTA.
Mhm.
There's a lot of times he can't go to recitals. There's a lot of times he can't pick the kids up. And you have to do that, but you have to be accepting, because sometimes people, the partner gets upset.
Sure.
Why you can't do it?
Sure.
Well, can you go run a go route?
Yeah.
Can you go sack the quarterback, and then we'll switch roles for a second? Talk about some of the sacrifices that you have to make to keep this, because you're the rock.
Yeah.
You're the foundation piece, because you keep his mind at ease, because he knows everything is taken care of at home.
Well, to be honest, I think that's the main reason why we haven't had children yet. To be honest, because I think I want him to be able to spend those late nights at the facility if he needs to get extra rehab. I don't want him to feel like he needs to come home and have to take care of things. I want, again, it's a short-lived career. I want him to be selfish. I won't ever want him to look back at the period of his life and think that I wish I did more, or I wish I did this. So we've kind of pushed that off, and we know we have our whole lives to have a family together. So, I have my own career path as well, and he's been incredibly supportive on that. I think that, to be honest, is the perfect recipe. If you're sitting at home and you're constantly waiting for him to come home, is I think when maybe animosity builds up. So for me, I'm working and trying to build my own dreams and my own career. So when he comes home, we're just happy to share what our day has been like with each other.
Yeah,
Did you hear what she said? She understands the sacrifice. She understands what goes into it. She understands what it entails to actually be an NFL player.
Yeah.
Once you have someone that understands the sacrifice and get it, you know what, baby, I get it. We're gonna put certain things on the back burner because I know this is what you have to do.
Yeah,
this is what comes
it's
first.
Absolutely. It was his dream since he even knew the word football.
Yeah.
So I would never want to take anything away from that.
But you, and we've heard this. Ocho and I, we both heard this, and but you say you understand and you want that, but you realize how much of a sacrifice that it entailed before you got with this gentleman.
I don't think it's that much of a sacrifice. I think he's following his dreams, and it's admirable. Like he really did. Like, I wake up every day, he's so happy to go to work. He's not like,
I love my job, man.
The fact that he even calls it work is hilarious. And so, to be honest, I think, and I'm not trying to take away from how much time and commitment he puts into it, but out of all the other professional sports, I think it's almost the most similar to a 9 to 5. Like, he plays 17 games in the regular season. It's not like he's playing a game every other day. And
like baseball.
Yeah. So I think the NFL is obviously a huge commitment, not trying to take that away whatsoever. But I think he balances it really well. And we have 4 months off together to do whatever we want.
I like it.
You mentioned your own dreams and aspirations. You started out sewing pieces just for basically for yourself and him. And then someone like, well, how can I get that? And you like, and whose idea was it, like, babe, I'm gonna turn this into a business, or you can turn this into a business?
Yeah, I think I was doing it for myself, truly, just because I didn't like what was offered at the store. And so
you didn't like the gift shop here?
No, I did not.
The pink shirts and the V-necks.
No, there was not enough options for me. So, I mean, it just was like a natural progression. And then there was this one time that I was at a game, and I was looking around. It was a freezing game, and every guy there is wearing this huge puffer jacket, and they have a jersey over their puffer jacket.
Right.
And I'm just like, why has there never been a jacket that has the player's name and number on it?
Right.
So you can be cold and you're not like restricted wearing a jersey over your jacket. So that was kind of like my light bulb moment. And then when I made my first so-called jersey puffer vest is when I was like, ooh, I'm on to something.
Oh yeah.
Have you always been good with sewing and putting things together?
No. To be honest, no, I didn't go to school for fashion. I was a business major, but like I come from a family of entrepreneurs who are just kind of like the figure it out, kind of gritty people. And so I just was like, I'll go to YouTube and I'll learn how to do it.
Damn.
That's what I did.
That's dope.
You can learn anything.
I hear people say YouTube can teach you anything.
Yeah, YouTube University.
15. You just finished the 15th season, right?
Just finished 13.
13.
Yeah.
How much? I mean, there are a whole lot of fullbacks. You and Richard up in Baltimore, y'all are really the true fullbacks. Everybody else, they'll bring an offense or defensive lineman in on short yardage, but there's really you two guys left. How many have you sat down with Kristen and have you guys mapped out, you know what, babe, I want to play 2 more years, babe, I want to play 3 more years, or you want to play as long as as long as a God will give you health and allow you to do it.
Exactly.
It seems to me that she's going to be very supportive, and she's not putting a time limit on when guys.
That's exactly right. She's super supportive that as long as I want to play, she's on board. And the way I look at it is, as long as I'm healthy and I'm still having fun, like, I'm gonna keep doing it. And so everyone, you know, when you get to this stage, especially after like 10 years, how many more years?
One at a time.
And that is the truth, man. Like, you really take it 1 year at a time. And I like to even push it to, all right, let's go 2 years at a time. So nobody's giving me a hard time. Yeah, I would like another guarantee. But I feel so good right now, and I'm having so much fun. Like, I can't even envision what it's like to stop playing yet. So I'm not gonna, you know, put an end line at it. I'm gonna tell you guys, I'm gonna tell everyone else. At least 2 more, and then we'll go 1 at a time.
The funny thing about it is there's really no time limit on you and how long you can play because of the value that you bring to the team. There aren't too many, well, there ain't none that can do what you do.
Right.
Team.
and you're not seeing too many fullbacks in college.
No.
So
bingo.
You know, you're not seeing anyone getting drafted.
It's a thankless job.
Yeah.
And they give you a 4th and 1, and when you don't get it, how can you not get it? Bro.
Because the whole team's teeing off right now.
There was 12 guys. There was 12 guys.
There was 12 guys in that yet.
Well, congratulations, man, Kristen.
Definitely.
It was very nice to meet you, Kyle.
Great talking
Congratulations,
to you guys.
man. Tell Bobby T.
Another Harvard alumni, man.
Yes, sir.
Tell
Thank you. I
Bobby T. I
appreciate
said
it.
what's up.
Oh, I definitely will. Hey, before we leave, we do have to mention Invisalign.
Oh, yeah.
They're the reason we're here today.
Okay.
And just like Ocho here, I'm a nut about my health.
Yeah.
You know, everything I put into my body, I make sure it's the absolute best. Just like Ocho. And Invisalign is huge for oral health, and oral health is just another component of your overall health. And I always look at it, if I can improve any part of my body, that's going to improve part of my game. And so Invisalign has helped with that. And in my mind, it's helping me with.
They're such an amazing company. I've worked with them for 3 years now, so it's amazing to have Kyle finally on board.
Yeah,
they do so much for women in sports and just like confidence building. So we're just happy to partner with them again. I also have another thing for you guys.
I was about to ask.
You saw those bags?
Yes. I was like,
we got gifts.
We got gifts.
I brought you guys my Super Bowl jackets.
Wow.
I don't have the right size for you.
I'm a large.
You're a large?
Yeah.
I'll get you a large. I have an XL and a large.
I thought that was dope. I was just kind of like breezing through there. I was kind of just listening to the podcast, and there's some of the stuff what she was saying. I was trying to say to myself, I was like, should I share this? And I was like, why not? Because that is something I deal with football, and it deals with, you know, I'm pretty sure like the people that watches my channel are obviously football fans, but who else know what you might be a creator or entrepreneur or an athlete yourself. And I just think what she said was just really crucial, because especially nowadays, it's shoot, man, it's not easy. Like, it's difficult finding somebody who just gets it. You know, when you're like I said, when you got a vision, and the type of vision that you envision for your lifestyle, for your life, it's not normal. It's not common. And when you're dating somebody, it's not the chances are already low to find somebody that you want to be with, but to find somebody who can understand what you're doing without you even have to explain it to them, it's almost less than 1%. So I thought it was inspiring. Obviously, his wife is young. Him and his wife are a young couple, but I thought it was inspiring to hear a woman say that, because it's not much I never really heard a woman say something like the stuff that she said. to be so not just supportive. Like supporting is not even the word, you know what I'm saying? It was just like she's like literally there right with him, like she wants it more than he does almost. You know, so I thought that was cool. Anyway, if y'all want more, you know where to find me. We here every night. This was the longest I've ever been on here. Almost 2 hours. An hour and 49 minutes in. And you know, I kid you all not. I'd be so tired before I come on here. And I just see like, okay, I'm just gonna be here for like 20 minutes, 30 minutes. And then I look up and I'm like, dang, I'm on here for about an hour. And I'm almost on here for about almost 2 hours. Never done that. I don't think I've ever been on here for 2 hours, even with the videos I recorded before I even getting live. So we keeping the streak going. It's 1:42 a.m. right now. It's almost 2 o'clock in the morning. And yeah, I'm gonna see what else I can shovel up for y'all later on tonight. So like, comment, share, subscribe, and we'll be back soon. All right, deuces.